Hello and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, I help members of the public to get the very best price for their antiques and valuables. You get a choice. Sit down with one of our regular dealers. Now they're going to try and tempt you with a cash offer on the table today.
20.
You're gonna have to dig a bit deeper than that.
If I don't think that's enough money, I'm going to say reject that offer. Have a gamble. Go to auction. We might just get you a little bit more money there.
That's £1,000.
I shall be on hand at all times to help and advise. Today, the show comes to you from Macclesfield in Cheshire. There's a great crowd of people have turned up this morning. They're smiling. They've brought along their treasures. They want to do business. You know why they're here. They want to walk away with the real deal.
First up, we're with Karen Dalmeny. Seller Simon's brought along two 1930s silver-plated car mascots. But who'll drive off with the best deal?
You bought a girl and a boy here,
Yes,
so tell me all about them.
I think this is from Rolls-Royce, like a silver lady, somewhere along that lines. And this is a Titan, which I think is from a truck, a lorry of some kind. Or
Oh, really?
big car, yeah.
So how come you've got them?
Well, they're my stepfather's, and it was his father's before.
Yeah?
So they've been handed down, and I knew the programme was here, so I thought, come down and see.
Bring them along.
Yeah.
They're certainly two really, really interesting items, and thank you for bringing them down. And obviously they weren't originally on these bases, but they've been on these bases for a very long time.
Yeah.
They've been really nicely done on both of them. Were these the only two you had, or did you have others?
Yes, the only two that I know of he's had.
I like them. I always like car mascots, and I mean this one, it's got such a beautiful form, hasn't it?
Oh, no.
I don't think it's Rolls Royce, but it's something very, very similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's really nice too. So they're two items that I'd really like to try and buy off you.
Right.
So it's down to me to tempt you, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 100, Simon. £200.
I was hoping for a little more, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so I gather you're under instruction. And very often I'm under instruction too, and I think I'm just about to get some actually. £200, David.
Just wondering which one you're going to put on the front of your van. What do you think, viewers? £200 to £300 is the estimation. Yeah. There's 200 on the table. I think if they went to the sale, I think they might get close to the 300. Then you'd have to take 50 quid off them. But there's no guarantee that they're going to sell.
Yeah.
If you could squeeze, and I don't mean literally, don't get me in trouble.
I won't.
If you could squeeze just a little bit more from Karen, I think Karen's on a safe bet, and I think it would stop you going to auction. Otherwise, there is a temptation to gamble and go to auction because it might bring the 3 and a bit more.
Might bring the 2 as well, because he mentioned 2 to 3. What do you think?
So another 40.
Right, you're after another £40. I was thinking another 20. So, Simon, if I put another £30 on the table, is that good enough compromise?
Yes.
You're
very
happy?
Much. Yes, I
and
am,
your family be happy with that?
They'll be more than happy.
Great. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
£230, £115 each. Yep, I'm happy with that.
But will you have a happy profit out of them, Karen? We'll see later. Now to meet our next hopeful, seller Kathy.
I brought along a small vase, which is Poole pottery. Ideally, I'd like to get between £30 and £40 for it.
Let's see if Janice Kehoe will meet those expectations.
Nice to meet you. And what have you brought today?
It's what I believe is now Poole pottery, a little vase, which I had under the sink.
You had it under the sink? Oh my goodness!
Under the kitchen sink since about 1975.
So you've had it since it was new?
No. I had a very generous mother-in-law that when we first got married used to help us, set up our home. Yeah. And I think that must have come from mum-in-law.
Oh. It's a nice piece of Poole pottery, a 1970s piece, and it's got the Poole pottery mark on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's numbered and it's initialed by the potter that would have made it. Do you know what the pattern is?
I thought it might be Delphus, but I'm not sure.
Delphus. So it might be part of the same range.
Yeah.
And if you sell the piece today, what would you do with the money?
Oh, we're hoping to go with my husband to Las Vegas. So any money we get is going in the pot.
Right. We'll see what we can do.
Well, it's all going into a pot.
It's all going into the holiday fund.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make you an offer. We'll see where we go. How's £10?
I never thought I'd be saying this, but no, I'd like
No.
a little bit more.
Okay. I will go a little bit more. I'll go to 15. That's going to be as far as I'm happy to go.
That's the taxi to the airport, really,
Yeah.
isn't it? No, I would like a little bit more
You would
than
like
that,
a little
yes.
bit more. Whilst it's a nice piece and it does have a value, at the moment it's not a great value, and that's as happy as that's as high as I'm prepared to go, I'm afraid.
I think I'll take it to auction.
You take it to auction?
Yeah.
Okay. Jolly good luck at auction.
Thank you very much.
Have you ever been to auction before?
No, I haven't, so
Oh,
it'll
you
be a
should
day
enjoy
out.
your day.
Okay.
Yes, be lovely. The market is quite weak at the moment for that sort of item. It might do £20, maybe 22, but I don't think it will do any more. I hope I'm completely wrong and it sails away.
For Kathy's sake, we hope you're wrong too, Janice.
Coming up now is the Poole pottery vase. £20 is the reserve. Hopefully it will sell, and the amount of money it brings back will go into the pot.
That's right.
Towards the Las Vegas trip. Let's see what happens.
The Vegas Falls.
Right, where are you going to be for this lot then, quickly? Who's got £20 for me? Nobody got it?
Come on.
10 bid, 10. 10. Any advance then, quickly on 10, 12, 15, 18, 20.
Yes, Viva Las Vegas. We got the 20, that's the reserve.
30 in the room. 30 in the room. Take another 5. Nice vase for £30. The bid's in the room. At 30, you're out online. At £30, 35.
It's 35.
40. £40 on bid in the room. At £40, the bid's in the room. Any advance then, quickly on £40.
So we've got it away, and it's at £40. We will have a small deduction to make. Now, first of all, what do you think about that, 40 quid?
I'm pleased.
Satisfied?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it kind of made its money. Take away the commission, £34. Happy with that?
Yes, I am.
And we know where she's going. Viva Las Vegas. That's the real deal.
Thanks, David. Back to the dealer's den. What have you brought us, Andrew?
I bought an Omega watch sign, which is 1920s, 1930s style. It's got a bit of rust around the edges, which isn't too much. But the actual face of it is in very good condition. There's no chips on the face, which makes it unique.
Andrew knows his stuff, but will he be a match for Tony Gearing? Because the enamel sign is such a one-off, the Duke and auctioneer Peter Ashburner are keeping a close eye on what he puts down.
So what have you brought in for us today?
I bought a very unusual Omega watch sign.
And it's got a sort of raised detail, which is
Yes.
what enamel on the letters, it's kind of just stands out a bit more, doesn't it?
I've sprayed it in WD-40 because it works wonders with anything like that to protect them. You know, it's
Just gives it a little film.
You don't scrub anything at all. You know, it just keeps them with that nice coat on them.
This is no doubt a 1920s watch here.
No.
1920s, 1930s.
Late 20s, I
Late
thought.
20s, yeah. So it's that here.
Yes.
You can tell just by the shape. That would have been that actual watch. It's just got a little bit of a shape.
Yes.
To
And
run
the
round
nice
your
thing
wrist.
is the actual face of it is in good
That's
condition.
perfect, isn't it?
If that would have been chipped, it wouldn't have done anything for me.
No.
Now, Peter, enamel signs, what do you think about it?
I think it's quite unusual and it's very collectible, really. There's a good market for enamel signs. I think it would do quite well at auction, actually.
Where's your estimation?
250 to 350, and I think it would do that quite comfortably.
Okay. The independents are a little bit more reserved. They're saying 2 to 3. But what's our dealer Tony going to say? Is it his cup of tea? Is he going to go for it? Well, let's find out. Tick-tock.
Well, I'd like to have a go at this, if I may.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay, 20. 40, 60, 80.
Not even touched the sides yet.
Not even touched the sides?
No, you're not even bought that bit yet.
I'm going to go one more on that.
No.
No.
What do you think about that offer?
Nowhere near,
Okay.
in my view.
Our auctioneer is saying nowhere near. I need to go in there and tell our seller what the auctioneer feels about it.
For somebody out there that'll go, I'll have that. Even if you got it a couple of years, the nice part is it's not too big to go anywhere on a wall. It's not oversized.
Right, Andrew. Not a bad little item, this. 250 to 350, 2 to 3 is what the independents are saying. Now, because of the size of it, I think perhaps, you know, the 250 to 350 is a bit ambitious. I think 100 is a bit on the low size. I think, you know, if it was 150, 170, it probably would be more its money. I think it's worth a little bit more.
Yes, thank you, David.
I'm going to go 140. And that's because the whole thing is in good condition, I think.
Come on, a bit more. I want to try and do a deal with you. Come on. I know you've come a long way like I have.
I think that's about my time.
I've come in again here, Andrew, because I get the feeling Tony's put down as much as he is going to. We've got to make a decision here. Do we gamble and go to auction, and can we get more by going to auction? At the moment, it's cash, no deductions. So you think about it, have a chat with this man, and come to a decision.
Yes, thank you, David. I think we'll have a deal, won't we?
Brilliant stuff.
Thank
Thanks
you
very much.
Thank you.
Nice guy, a bit of a wheeler dealer guy. I think he knows what he's doing. I thought of going a bit more, but he kind of jumped in there and took my sort of price at 140. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with that.
I think cash was king on that deal, Tony. But can you turn your cheap buy into a princely profit? That remains to be seen. And after the break, it looks like Karen's lost her marbles.
Now, I've looked at the bid that's on the table, and I would have thought possibly the bid of a lunatic, possibly.
Thanks.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Macclesfield. A pistol has landed on David Ford's table, so give it your best shot, David.
Martin. Hi there, I'm David. Now, Martin, I've been around a little while, as you can probably guess. And I thought I'd seen most things. I have never seen anything quite like that before.
Right. Okay.
So, help me a bit and tell me about it, what you know.
Well, I inherited it from my father, and he was in the Second World War, and he found it in Italy.
What do you think it's for? I mean, obviously this lever cocks right back on.
Yeah.
This is a very strong spring.
Yeah.
And it fires probably a dart or something, does it? Or
I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether it's a... I thought originally it was a bullet, but it's quite narrow, isn't it? It's quite a narrow... I don't know
I think it's a dart.
Dart,
of some kind.
Yeah.
On the back here is some really lovely, probably on brass, embossing.
Right.
There's a little sort of nice quadrooned carving round there.
Right.
This wood appears to be something like quite a hardwood, like rosewood, but on the bottom, very helpfully, it's dated 1865 and it's got BB. I mean, it's overall, when you think it's been around a while, got found somewhere in Italy, it's in pretty good condition, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's unusual.
Yeah.
I'll get some money out. I don't know. Don't know what that's worth. There's 50. How does that grab you? £120?
It's a reasonable first offer.
What is David? He'll come in. He'll say, "I've had lots of these. I know all about it."
Never seen one before.
No, nor me.
It probably fired some kind of pin or bolt. I would have thought it was a cattle, sheep, whatever, humane killer. It's nicely signed on the base, on the handle. I think that edges it a little bit. I think it gives it a lot more interest.
Right.
They've said 150 to 200 are independents because they don't know either. So 150 to 200 would seem about right, but it wouldn't surprise me if someone said, oh yes, they're extremely rare. So who knows?
Right.
Gosh, what is it worth? 130. 140.
Right, well, I'm thinking it's rare, and I'm thinking it's worth a bit more.
You do?
Yeah.
Another tenner's not going to swing it, is it?
No.
150.
No.
160, Martin. I'm trying
You
to
try.
buy your thing. Shake
know.
my hand and we'll do a deal.
That's fine.
We have a deal.
We have a deal.
We've dealt.
Thank you. Thank you,
All right,
David.
well, I'm going to do some research and try and find out all about it. I'll probably find they're terribly common and they're worth 20 quid in Italy.
No.
Won't I? Happens.
No.
Well, it wasn't highway robbery, David. You bought the thing. Will you be able to unload it to a customer? We'll find out later. Our next seller is Dave. He's brought in a collection he's hoping will catch Janice's eye.
What have you brought for me today?
Just some silver items that my partner inherited. They're from, just found them in the loft, a big bag of them. Yeah.
Well, I wish I had some things like this in my loft.
Right.
They're very interesting. They're late 18th, early 19th century silver items.
Yeah.
The majority of them are Irish, but this particular one's from Exeter.
Right.
This one's an interesting pattern. If you see here, this is called rat's tail.
Right.
You don't get a lot of it around, but it's quite nice to see, very decorative. Hallmarked on the back, so we know it's silver. They're not in the best condition, I've got to be honest.
Yep.
So really, in view of the condition of these, the offer I make will be purely for scrap. What I would offer is 20, 40, 60, 80, 90.
You're going to have to dig a bit deeper than that.
Okay, well, I'll make one more offer. I'll go up to £100 and that's it, I'm afraid. Would you like to have a word with David?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you the virtual scrap value of this silver is probably near the 100. These are Irish, 1831. They're period. It's collectible. There are still very good buyers in Ireland, but not like there were. 140, 160 is where the estimate is, I think, on these. But if you went to auction, you might be gambling unless you pick up just the right collector. Period Irish silver, it should bring that kind of money still, 150 quid.
Well, I hear what David's saying, but I really feel that I'm happy to stick at £100.
Okay.
Okay, so what would you like to do?
Auction, please.
Auction. All right. Well, good luck at auction, and thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
I made an offer that I was happy with, and I wasn't happy making anything larger, so I hope he does well at auction.
For this one, 170.
We're wishing you luck too, Dave.
The reserve is 140 here in the sale room. 150 to 200 pounds is the auctioneer's estimate. I think that's reasonable. You turn down 100. Are they going to make 140? Well, they should do. Let's find out.
I can start the bidding on this lot at £140.
That's at the reserve, so that's a good start.
Who's got 150? 50 on the doorway to 150. Take 60 now. At £150 in the doorway. Any advance? On 150. Anybody quickly? At 150 we go.
No competition, £150. We have a little bit of commission to take off. I make that 127. Now, first of all, your reaction. Are you satisfied with that?
Delighted, yeah.
I think, under the circumstances, the way the sale room is, the nature of the items, the pieces of silver and what they were for, I think on the day, a low price, but not a bad price. That was the real deal.
Back in the dealer's den, Catherine's brought in a highly unusual medal. But is it something Karen will go for?
Catherine, welcome to the show. It's
Thank you,
lovely
Karen.
to have you. And what have you brought me here?
Well, I really want to ask you. It's some sort of medal.
Is it?
Yes.
Right, let's have a little look-see then. It's I can see why they put it on my podium, Catherine.
Yes.
They're naughty boys
I'm sorry
out there.
about that.
The Manchester Lunatic Hospital medal. Okay.
And the Manchester Royal Infirmary, I think.
And the Royal Infirmary,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
And I see on the bottom here, on both sides actually, we've got a date of 1796. So late Georgian. A little confused here because the medal itself is struck in 1796. The box that it looks beautifully fitted in, this company here, Lewis, kicked off in about 1820. So whether it was a presentation in the early 19th century and the box was made specially, I'm not sure.
Right.
But either way, it's rather lovely.
Thank you.
Gilt bronze, but it's got really good definition on the stripe here, hasn't it? We can't trace, how am I going to put this, a family relative back to the...
No, I don't think so. My father and grandfather were both doctors. I think probably somebody
that
thought
could be a connection
they
there.
had an interest and gave it to them.
Yeah. Not something you want to keep?
Not especially,
No?
No.
So time to go?
I think possibly yes.
All right. So I'm going to put a nice strong note down there, £50.
Can you improve on that a bit?
Do I want to improve
Well,
on that a bit?
I hope so.
I'll tell you what, Catherine, I'll go another £5 because it's a bit of fun, but I think I'm all there with the money.
Yes.
It's difficult because obviously I haven't had one and I don't suppose there's many out there.
Probably not.
So we're all sort of a little bit feeling in the dark, but I like the quality, gilt bronze, lovely date, so £55.
I thought it would probably go to about 80 or
Do you?
thereabouts, yes.
If you're not happy, and I can hear footsteps, come on, David.
Now, I've looked at the bid that's on the table and I would have thought possibly the bid of a lunatic, possibly.
Thanks.
I think that's probably on its money. I'll tell you why. The independent value is, say, 25, 35 quid. So I'm going to say, let Karen have it. Let her see if she can sell it. She's a real wheeler dealer. If anyone can sell a medal that is struck with a lunatic asylum on it, it's Karen Dalmeny. She can do the job. So I'm going to say, give the girl a chance. It's a nice thing, but it's an oddball thing, and I think that's its money.
Thanks, David.
Actually, I'm quite worried that I'm so much more than the valuation. So if I were you, I'd take my money, Catherine.
Thanks, Karen, I will.
Yeah, we
yes.
got a deal.
Thank you.
Thank you. Trust me to get the lunatic medal and trust me to end up buying it. 55 quid. Let's hope there's a profit.
Tricky one. Find out if Karen makes her money back later in the show. Coming up, an item takes the Duke down memory lane.
Just hang on a second. There's a couple of young lads on this photograph here. It's the Duke, and the other lad is young Georgie.
But will David Ford score on this deal?
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Next up to face a dealer is Nikki.
Today I brought along a scent bottle and a couple of clothes brushes. I'm not really sure how much they're worth, so I just thought I'd come along and see Tony and see what he could offer me.
Well, let's see if Tony can produce a well-groomed bid to entice Nikki.
Nikki, nice to meet you, Nikki. And what have you brought in for me today, my dear?
Well, basically, this is just some things that was from my great-grandma, and it was actually just at my parents' house in a box in the spare room, sat collecting dust for about 20, 25 years, so we just thought we'd come along today and see what it was worth.
I would have thought it'd been something you might have liked yourself. It's rather...
It's very pretty, yeah. But,
angels and cherubs on there. And...
yeah, it's lovely. It's very, very pretty. But like I said, it was just been sat in a box for years, so we're not really doing anything.
No. Let's have a look, see who this is. It's London, 1909. I can't see a maker's mark on it anywhere there. Do you know who the maker is?
I don't, I'm afraid.
It's been a little bit over polished. You see some of the detail when you look here. See her facial details,
Yeah.
kind of the wings are starting to fade away, which does devalue it a little bit.
Right, okay. I think she was quite keen on polishing my great grandma, keeping
Like
things
just shiny,
clean.
eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's have a look at these two little clothes brushes. Nice design.
Yeah, again, very pretty, aren't they?
Very pretty, yes. But not really much use today. London again. WC William Coleman's, which is very good silver maker actually.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, let's see what we can do for you with these
Okay.
3 little pieces. Just stop me when I put too much down, will you?
Don't know about that.
20, 40, 60,
I'm not thinking of stuffing it.
80. No clues there then. 100. How does that sound?
I don't know, I'd be intrigued to see if you could possibly offer a bit more.
Intrigued to see. How about a little bit more then?
Is there a little bit more there?
I'm really buying the scent bottles more so than the brushes.
Even though the brushes are a good make as well.
Yes, but they're pretty sort of, they're not the most saleable objects, let's say.
Okay.
I think I'm going to stick with 110.
Okay. I think that's a fair price, so yeah, we'll go for a deal.
Lovely. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A good result for Nikki there. We'll see if Tony makes a profit later. Next up is Roy with his collection of football memorabilia. But will he play David Ford for a winning deal?
Now, you're obviously a football enthusiast.
I am a big United fan, yes.
And here you've got a ball.
I have, yes.
And then you've got a lot of programmes.
I have, certainly, yes.
So are these your collection?
Yes, they are.
So tell me first of all about this wonderful ball.
A work colleague, said that his school were being offered this ball by the club as a raffle prize. And then he came back to tell me that his son had won it, had no interest in football, and would I take it off his hands?
It's signed by all sorts of people. Do you want to explain who they all are?
There's a signature there of George Best. There's also Pat Crerand. There's Bill Fowkes there. Bobby Charlton. Dennis Law has signed it. The whole squad who were on duty that night for United.
I mean, they're all names to conjure with, because
Yes,
even
certainly.
to a non-football enthusiast, they're all names I know.
Of course, they're household names.
Absolutely.
And even if people are not particularly au fait with this sort of object offer for selling, these names would resonate.
Absolutely. So, open here is a thing that says, to Paddy from...
Matt.
Matt?
Yes.
Matt Busby.
Matt Busby, yes. And this is a menu from the banquet at Manchester Town Hall, where the freedom of the city of Manchester was bestowed on Matt Busby. And a good friend of my father was invited to the banquet and knew that I was obviously a big fan of United,
Yes.
and asked Matt if he would sign that for me, which he did.
You've kept these things in amazingly good condition,
I
Roy.
treasured
You
them,
have.
David, yes.
Let's have a think. It's got to be a reasonably high value, hasn't it? 50. 100. I'm slightly out of my depth. 150. £200. How does that sound to you, Roy? It's a no. It's a no, isn't it?
Of course, it has to be at that
Yes.
sort of price.
Another £50, £250, but you don't look thrilled by that.
No, certainly. No.
Here comes David. I can see him in the shadows there.
Okay.
Well, it's a very difficult one to value this. All I can say is if we were at one of the sporting clubs and liquor was flowing and we were all having a good time, this could bring £1,000, but that is not the situation. This was a European Cup final.
Yes.
I mean, you have names on here, apart from Bestie. You know, you have some of the greatest United names of yesteryear.
Yes.
There's a couple of young lads on this photograph here. It's the Duke, and the other lad is young Georgie. I used to sometimes have a drink with him, so I think there's something quite rare here. 250 to 350 is what the independent valuers estimate is at. 250 is not a bad offer, because you can go to a sale room, and I've seen lots of iconic football memorabilia fall flat. Though I have to say, I think that has something better than I've seen in many a year. It's a gambler's lot, this. It could bring more than 350, but I just do not know, and I'm going to have to make you make that call. Okay. If it was me, unless David put down more money, I'd gamble at the auction. I'd gamble the internet would go round the world. I'd gamble that Man U fans would be looking into the internet and would be willing to bid to own a piece of history.
I will go to auction.
I mean, I was going to put down another £50. I don't think I'm brave enough to go any further than that. That's £300.
I do appreciate what you say, and I'll take...
Going to go to auction. I hope they don't make too much money for you, because if they do, that's a profit I could have made had I bought them.
And yes, I think you would have well.
So I hope you don't do too well, but I hope you do well.
Thank you.
All right,
very
thank
much.
you.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you.
Earlier on, Roy turned down £300 for his collection of Man United memorabilia. He's joined the Duke to see if his gamble will pay off.
250 to 350 is the estimate.
Yes.
We're relying that there are Man U fans here, or certainly representatives of them, dealers who do memorabilia and so forth.
That's exactly what I thought. David was a nice chap, but I didn't feel that was his field.
No.
And I was hoping today, even if we don't got the same sort of price, that it would go to a fan of United. So,
all right. So
quite hoping.
There are iconic names here, and if you love Man U and if you know their history, there are names that just jump out at you, and here is your chance to acquire signatures. Let's see what happens in the sale room. Time to kick off. Ooh.
I can start the bidding on this one at £250. Anybody more? At 250 bid, at 250 for a good quality Manchester United lot. 260 online, 270 I have, 280, 290, 290 commission out online.
Still think it should have brought more. 320.
340. I've got 350 here.
350 with the auctioneer. Nothing in the room. Anything on internet. 360.
At 360 is an online bidder at 360. 80 anywhere at £360. All done at 360.
What's your impression there? A bit disappointing?
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's hopefully gone to a good United supporter.
Right.
I've had years of enjoyment of it, and I hope that the buyer will have the same enjoyment as I am.
Okay.
So I'm quite satisfied,
Okay.
David.
Well, you heard what Roy said. There's commission to take off of the 360. That leaves £295. So it's a little bit short of the £300.
Okay.
The main thing is you're happy.
Yes, I'm happy,
It's
David.
eventually going to be with a Man U fan.
Yeah.
And it's going to give years of enjoyment. What more can you say?
Yeah.
Now, we've really scored, haven't we?
Yeah, thank you.
That was the real deal.
Thank you, David.
Coming up, a huge chunk of bling.
It's quite a statement piece, isn't it?
First time I wore it, everybody said, "Oh, is that an Olympic medal?" And I never wore it again.
But will Karen go for gold? It's been a busy day in Macclesfield. Our last seller is Irene. She's determined to attract Karen's attention with a dazzling gold medallion.
Irene, welcome to the show, and we got a positive bit of bling going on here, haven't we?
Yes.
So what's the story?
Well, my husband bought it for me in Malta in the 70s. But the first time I wore it, everybody said, "Oh, is that an Olympic medal?" And I never wore it again. So it's been sitting in the safe since the 70s. So I thought it's time now to sell.
Was it ever worn, do you think?
Once.
Once, because it's quite a statement piece, isn't it? I don't think you'd miss it if you wore it, would you? But it's got that important word, hasn't it? Gold.
Gold.
I've had a quick little look, and it's 18 carat.
Yes.
Did you realise it was 18 carat?
Yes.
So, you know, and also popped it on the scales as well. So
Yes.
I know what I'm dealing with here.
Yes.
Just a matter of price then, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do with the money if
Well,
you
we
manage to
can
have a
come
deal?
and visit our children more often, you know.
So
from Spain.
you're in Spain now, and they're over here, are they?
We've come here for a month.
Yeah. Fantastic. Right, so get some money out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just pop that underneath there so you can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 200. How am I doing?
Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. 300. 320. 340. Eileen.
Well, I've got a price in my head, and that's not it.
Am I a long way away?
I'm a good bit away.
Right, 360, 380 pounds.
No.
What are you looking for, Eileen? You have to remember
500.
400, 420, 440. Irene, there's 440 there, and that is a really good offer, and I'm hoping David's going to agree, actually.
Well, it's fairly modern, isn't it? What we are talking here probably is the gold content in this
Yes,
item.
yeah.
Now, let me tell you what the independent valuers and the auctioneers say. They say 480 to 520, 5 to 6. In scrap value, as we speak today, the spot price of gold is £570 there.
Yes.
If you got the full £600, I say if,
Yeah.
you would have £90 to take off, you'd be down to £500.
Yes.
But it would be difficult to get £600 in the auction because whoever paid £600 would have to pay 15% on top, and they would still take off you the deduction of commission.
Yes.
So I'm going to say 570 is where it scraps at. It's got to be worth £470 and leaving a £100 profit for our dealer.
I will put another £20 down. So there you go, 460, and that is as much, and I'm prepared to go, Irene. That's it.
Yes, I'm happy with that.
Yeah?
Lovely. Okay.
Oh gosh, that's going quick. Not hanging around
Lovely
here.
jubbly.
Got a deal then. Lovely.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank you
so
very
much. Little bit of profit left for me. Thank you, Irene.
Yes, thank you, Irene. She couldn't wait to have that lovely lolly in her hand, could she? Now, what about our hard-working dealers? Have they managed to gather up a profit from their buys today? Janice had a tough day. She couldn't give her money away.
I think I'll take it to auction.
You'll take it to auction?
Yeah.
So what would you like to do?
Auction, please.
Auction.
Remember the gun that David was going to research?
Unusual thing. Not really my cup of tea, but no doubt I'll find somebody to buy it.
Well, David didn't hit the books and simply sold it on to a collector for the same amount he'd paid. Back of the class, Mr. Ford. Tony didn't have high hopes for the scent bottle and brushes.
They're not the most saleable objects, let's say.
Okay.
But when he put them into an auction, they sold for £112. You can't brush off a couple of quid profit, Tony. And what about the enamel sign he bought for a song?
Well, I thought of going a bit more, but he kind of jumped in there and took my sort of price at 140. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with that.
So far, it's hit a flat note and remains unsold.
You're
Very
happy?
much, yes, I
And
am,
your
thank
family
you.
be happy with
They'll
that?
be more than happy.
Great. Thanks very
Thank
much.
you very much indeed.
230, 115 each. Yep, I'm happy with that.
Karen was right to be pleased. She's already sold the Roman car mascot for £150 and is just waiting for the right buyer for the other. And the Georgian medal she paid over the odds for?
Trust me to get the lunatic medal, and trust me to end up buying it. 55 quid. Let's hope there's a profit.
Indeed there was, if only a little one. And she also turned a sparkling profit on that gold medallion. Well done, Karen.
We've had a great day. Plenty of atmosphere, buying, selling, just what I like to see. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time. Dickinson's Real Deal. Bye for now.